off chasing some trout this morning, and first thing is to go out a bit of a track. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll know that tracks feature quite a bit, but I haven't been out many in the last year or so, partially with all the COVID stuff and whatnot. But this morning I'm going to start going out a track, and then I'll do a bit of walking for a while. Oh, wee fish going scooting down. A couple of just wee par, you know. So this is the famous Grass River, and you can see how little water we've had for quite some time now. Well, there's a fish that's gone up through that wee rapid as well. Yeah. Amazing. They're just lying in this thin water. They're just wee par, you know, wee tiny things. But you can see how little water we've had. So everything's on its bones at the minute, which isn't too unusual for May, June time out here, to be honest. But it does mean anybody looking at salmon or a sea trout's going to struggle a wee bit, you know, for an early fish. However, I'm going to go out and see if I can see a trout maybe today. We'll see how that goes. Bit of a walk and maybe even a fish if we're lucky, you know. Because I haven't been out here or out walking for a while, just with all the locking down and whatnot. Things have been a bit different for the last couple of years. So we'll make our way up the hill and see how we go. Oh, well, the plover's not too keen on me, you see. They probably have a nest somewhere about here. So we're making a bit of tweeping, see if I'll go away. And I will go away. I'm going away. I'm going in that direction. But, oh, well, yes, we're not pleased. Nice view from up here. Yeah, maybe we'll go up there someday. Probably September now, you know, and go way up and see what's up there. Sometimes interesting for a wee look, you know. Enjoyable day out. Right, I think I better get walking. Keep aiming for this place. Oh, I see another pair of plovers out ahead of me. I see them hobbiting around on a wee mound. And they'll not be too pleased to see me coming either. So when I'm out here, I like to show you these things. This is where our raptors come to eat their dinner. We have a good selection of raptors out here, including peregrines, merlins, golden eagles, hen harriers, you know, the usual stuff, I suppose, for the Lewis Moor. But as you can see, we've got bones and stuff here. And of course, the extra nutrients, I think, seem to build up these mounds. And I think the raptors get stuck into the grouse. The moor's shot for grouse, so it's quite well managed, and this is why we've so much stuff, you know. It's quite interesting, really. And obviously it holds different moss as well, different bryophytes to the rest of the moor, and even little lichens as well, some a bit different. So an interesting place, you know. And I know it's only a wee mound, but you know, in a way the whole moor kind of depends on stuff like this. And I mean, I can see another one the same colour just behind me there, or well, out in front of me, but I'm walking from that direction at the minute. So I'm seeing all sorts of interesting stuff. But as you can see, somebody's had his dinner here, had a good scoff. After a bit of a sloggy walk, I'm arriving at the loch for the day, and I've got to say it looks like it has a nice wee wave on it. Wind's cold though, it doesn't feel like June, but nonetheless, what I'll do now is take a wee walk around the loch, get a place where the wind's off my back a bit just to make the casting easy, and settle in maybe for a cup of tea as well. I'm going to sit in this wee patch of, I think it's Hylocominum splendens or something it's called. It's a wee moss, you know, interesting wee moss. And sit down here, and I'm going to have the cup of tea. Because I was thirsty and kind of peckish after my walk, you know. Because I'm not very fit just at the minute. However, hopefully that'll pick up in due course. And then I'll have a few casts. I've got a wee goat's toe on the top and teal and black on the point. I've just tied that up just while I was brewing my tea. And I'll go up along here. I'm fishing. I usually fish that Yozuri or whatever it's called line. I really like it. Works really well for me. It's very strong. It's like a hybrid thing. I think it's coated with that fluorocarbon, but it's basically nylon, so it doesn't snap and break and give you the weirdness the fluorocarbon does. But I'm actually fishing some Maxima today because I have it in 4-pound breaking strain, and I just thought I'd give it a wee try. The 7-weight rods maybe, you know, a wee bit heavy for 4-pound breaking strain line, just hard to be just as careful, you know. But I'm gonna have a wee splash here, put the fly out, see what damage I can do. Wind's coldish, but it's not a bad day for it, so in with a chance. Wind's a wee bit gustier than I'd kind of hoped it would be, you know. It's, well, what do you expect? But I've got to say this year, well, I've been fishing for 2 weeks now in June in what has mostly been sort of September-ish conditions, you know, well, late September, like well into autumn conditions. Just everything's been slow this year for everyone, I think, you know. Even the moor has been slow to green up. I'm trying to work out whether the loch, because obviously we haven't had much rain or water or anything, and most places are low, but I don't think this one's really lost much water. Yeah, you know, maybe an inch or two, but it's amazing really that it's, you know, it looks just to be about the height that it always is. Yeah, we have to eat fish. Just being a wee bit careful with him on this slightly lighter leader. Not like he's a monster, but lovely fish though, you know. Bit thin, but again, as I was saying, things are a bit late this year. So he came on the teal and black. They're a really lovely fish, but thin compared to what the fish are usually like on here, you know. I mean, it doesn't make fat fish, but that's a lovely fish, but as thin as you like. I mean, that would be a good fish if he was fat. Put myself out of the hedgerow. Kind of starting to feel that maybe lunch may not be out of order. Just look and see what time it is. I didn't imagine it was made that late, but you know, the thought's on me now. So I don't think there's any way back. With lunch eaten, it seems like time for a few more casts, and the wind has kind of changed direction a wee bit. You can see here up this end of the loch that there's like a band of light or white-ish coloured stone, and you see then it goes dark further out, and that lighter coloured one a bit further out there I just threw out there a second or two ago, just for the sake of comparison. But it's quite interesting. I think I'm guessing it's a wave action, that because it's nice, when you lift it, it just looks like the normal rock around here. Quite light coloured gneiss, but gneiss nonetheless. So I think the wave action must clean it just on this bank somehow, or something to do with the current or something. Even so, interesting to observe. a hard fighting wee fish on the soldier palmer, but still a bit thin, I would have said. He didn't waste any time in getting out of dodge. Dear. Well, I'm tangled in all these rushes free. It's a pain. I don't like them. Right, that's me quit. Time to start walking. That's me walking for the car, and it's a long way to go in this, you know. It's bits that are hard walking. Not so bad here where it's firm. But what a fantastic day. And what a great day out as well, you know. Fish were thin, they looked to be quite slow coming on this year, but it's been the same everywhere. But even so, it's always nice when they cooperate a wee bit, get a few, and I'm putting them back anyhow, so I guess how thin they are doesn't really much matter to me. But another fabulous day out, and unfortunately this time tomorrow I'll be sitting on the ferry headed back for the mainland, so that's not so encouraging. Have to work sometimes, I guess. By walking directly towards Sylvan, I'm nearly down to where I parked my car. How amazing is that, eh? What an amazing day out as well. Fabulous day, you know. So I'm over the moon with the walk and all the stuff I've seen in the day out, and a few fish and a bit of exercise. And now all that really remains to do is jump in the car and mosey back up the track again. I've got to warn anybody who watches my videos who thinks they maybe know where the track is or whatever, that it isn't as good as the last time I was out it. So you're certainly not coming out it in a car, and I would expect that running out it in anything but all-terrain tires or something like that designed to take a battering is going to be a really big mistake, because there's lots of sharp stones and stuff, and I think you're going to live to regret that, you know. So I wouldn't recommend it as a sort of recreation unless you have a vehicle on all-terrain tires, just for the puncture thing, you know. I mean, it's not like you'll get bogged down or anything, though if you don't have the ground clearance that might cause you a few problems as well. But yeah,